So learning from the results of other projects is a great way for you to see what went well for them, what didn't go so well for them, and implement those in your own project. I mean, why not learn from something that's already been done by somebody else? And you want to look at things that are relevant to your project, problems and obstacles they may have had that you could learn from that could be advantageous for your own project. So let's take, for example, the case study of the Airbus 380, the world's largest passenger aircraft ever built. Now, Airbus Industries, who was responsible for designing and building this very large aircraft, had already built the Airbus 340 prior to that. Now, the Airbus 340 is a smaller plane. It sits on one deck, and the customers, which are the airlines that were buying those airplanes, didn't have as many requirements or different requirements as, for example, the Airbus 380. The Airbus 380 sits on two decks, an upper deck and a lower deck. And it's a much bigger aircraft. And the clients in this case, the airlines, were requiring different cabin configurations. And so all of these things created a situation where even though a lot of lessons learned came from the Airbus 340 platform, some of the complexity perhaps was not captured in its totality. So something that can help a lot in such situations is to build a robust lessons learned process and follow a robust lessons learned process that can capture everything, the technical situations, coordination issues, and as well all the complexity issues that might change from project to project. The first thing you want to do is make sure that you allow the time, you schedule the time to capture lessons learned. I find more often than not, this is something project teams are not doing, is to spend the time capturing lessons learned. So you gather groups of maybe 5 or 10 people, and then you start by reflecting what did they set out to do and what did they actually accomplish. Based on those two questions, then you start asking, for example, what went well? And in the case of Airbus, they would sit down and say, well, what went well in the Airbus 340, for example? And based on that, copy that and mirror that so that they can use those lessons learned for their 380 project. And the questions will include, like I said, what technical issues were encountered. Same thing, what coordination issues were encountered between the people. And as well, what level of complexity. Then you can move on to those things that didn't work so well and learn from the Airbus 340 in this case, what didn't go so well, and include those to make sure that you build those improvements into your next project, in this case, the Airbus 380. I think most of you will agree that by investing the time and implementing a robust lessons learned process, you're going to save a lot of time because you're going to be learning a lot of things, including all of the complexity involved in other projects to make the improvements on future projects for them to be successful.